I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I'm going to begin by saying welcome to those who are here for the February 2025 Zoning Board of Appeals. And I'm going to ask the secretary to please read the notice.
Sure. Town of Farmington Zoning Board of Appeals notice is hereby given that the Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a hybrid in-person and online public hearing Tuesday, February 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall Council Chambers on the following application. Matthew and Krista Yard application for variance to reduce the front yard setback from 40 feet to 20 feet to construct an addition on an existing single-family home and to 10 feet to enclose an existing porch at 100 Red Oak Hill Road, R30 zone. Interested parties are encouraged to participate in this hybrid public hearing. It is the preference of the board that participation be in person. The link to this meeting may be found on the Town of Farmington's website. Copy of the proposal is available online or by calling the planning department at Farmington Town Hall at 860-675-2325, dated at Farmington, Connecticut, January 29th, 2025, Farmington Zoning Board of Appeals, John Shorn, Chairman.
And I note that Commissioner Walsh is absent. I do note that alternate Commissioner Subramanian has just signed on, but I believe she previously had been called to fill the vacancy of one of the regular members more recently than Commissioner DeSantoro. So I'm going to appoint Commissioner DeSantoro to be in place of Commissioner Walsh this evening for tonight's hearing. So with that in mind, the way we work, there are some people here in the audience. We ask that the applicant or the applicant's representative come forward, stand at either the microphone by the podium, which is our preference, or I assume you could also sit at the microphone at the table, but the podium is preference. State your name, address, and what your relationship is to the applicant. And since that's now the matter, I would ask that the representative Matthew and Krista Yard application for variance for 100 Red Oak Hill Road, please step forward. And before you speak, I did request that that staff, particularly Mr. Daigle, explain, because of the circumstances that you were here or your representative was here in November, and we already granted a variance. So it came to mind that I'm not certain whether, because that was already approved, are we hearing an amendment to that application, or are we going back to what it was prior and you're somehow withdrawing that? So I'm going to ask Mr. Daigle to explain what the town's understanding is with regard to this application.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. So just as a refresher, the property owners came in November with the original plan to demo the existing house and construct a new home. That's this plan right here. Because the existing home was already in the front yard, their septic, it's an odd-shaped lot. It didn't warrant, it was not feasible to shift back, so they sought a variance, and the variance was approved. The circumstances have changed, so now the applicants are just seeking to add on to the front of the existing home and not demo the existing home. Obviously, portions will be demoed for the construction, but not fully demolished. Staff's belief would be that this would be a new application and not a modification, because now it's amending the existing house. You're not building a completely new structure.
So how does that affect the action we took in November, since it's supposed to actually alter what's on the land record?
So the certificate has not been filed on land records yet, so it's an approved variance. Nothing's been filed yet. It would be the assumption that if this application is approved, this is the only one variance that will get filed on the land records. Once it's filed and constructed, any further applications will be a new variance application.
So is it clear that it's not both then that there's only going to be one?
Correct.
And so is and I just want to be clear. So what is our position or what is the town's position vis-a-vis the November variance that was granted?
It would be voided.
It would be void.
Yes.
Okay. And I understand. Oh,
Oh, I can.
Secretary is correct. We have not taken the roll for tonight's meeting, and so I ask that we do so before I apologize, but
That's okay.
procedurally, that's how we're supposed to.
Yep.
All right. Alternative Supermanian.
Present.
Alternative De Santoro.
Here.
Commissioner Walsh is absent. Commissioner Cloud.
Here.
Commissioner Grady Benson.
Here.
Commissioner Callahan.
Here.
Commissioner Gemsky.
Here.
Chairman Shohorn.
Here. So we have a quorum, and I've
Yes.
previously appointed
Correct.
Commissioner De Santoro to fill in for absent Commissioner Walsh. Okay, so back to our, so that's clear then how we're to proceed. Okay, so let's hear from you. State your name, please.
Okay, so I'm Matt Yard, the homeowner, 100 Red Oak Hill Road. So yeah, we're here for a new variance, and due to the insurance company not allowing us to go with what we originally came here for.
Could you explain that? I note you put that due to insurance reasons, but could you just explain what the problem was?
Basically, they're just saying it wasn't damaged enough to come down.
Oh, so they wouldn't pay for a rebuild, is what you're saying, or
Right.
replacement. Okay. All right.
So, yeah, I mean, we changed some things around. We looked at, I guess the most economical way to do it with insurance and, a contractor. And we came up with this is, the left side there that we, make it a garage with a bedroom, bedroom above, living space up above. We looked at going out the back of the house, which isn't feasible with setbacks to the septic and everything and well, and footing drains and everything. There's some code issues in the house, so we, by doing this, by coming forward, we eliminate the issues and everything's up to code, staircases and bedroom sizes, bedroom height, all that stuff. Enclosing the front porch allows us to make the staircase, correct. And go from there and make everything kind of somewhat function for us.
All right. Could you, you're coming in this time as a variance, so could you just articulate what the hardship is if you haven't, I understand about the septic system, but, and if you just would, for us, or maybe staff can do it, could the staff, again, Mr. Daigle, point out, where is the septic system on this property?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. So, give me, I can't remember. Here we go. All right. So here's the septic tank, flows through distribution box and then to the leaching field out here. Setbacks for septic to a footing drain is minimum of 25 feet. Footing drains are required by the building code. When the addition is put off the back at 8 feet, again, this is not to scale. This is going to be the best I can do on the computer. If you come out 8 feet, it essentially puts the back corner of the home right at about 25 feet, maybe a little closer, and then adding in 12 inches of stone with the 4-inch perforated pipe in the middle is obviously brings you less than 25 feet. So now you're at 23 feet from the septic tank, and that would not be permitted by code. So that's why the property owners are proposing to go out the front instead. The current house is only 18 feet deep. A standard garage is 24 to 26 by 26. So for reference, a standard parking space in the zoning regulations is 9 by 20. So that doesn't give you any room to walk around the vehicle as you normally would in a garage. So that requires the deeper space to make it a garage space, to allow vehicles to park inside. It's an older home. It was probably a carriage house originally. So horse-drawn carriage, I think it was 1900s.
Yeah, 30s, early 30s.
Yeah, 1930s. So well, maybe not a carriage then, but a smaller automobile like a Model T or something like that was much shorter than a modern car.
And I recall also there was some discussion about the fact that it was a pre-existing non-conforming property. So could you just explain what is the approved setback for an R30 zone?
So in the R30 zone, the front yard setback is 40 feet. I'm trying to mark here.
And how much of the current footprint of the house, including the porch, was non-conforming up till now?
Without being able to measure, Mr. Chairman, I would say over 75% of the home. So here's this red line is the front yard setback. And then do.
So is it
So
my
this is the
understanding
house.
that the homeowner wants to increase the amount of non-conformance? Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, well, let me just turn to the members. Do you have anything else you wanted to add before I ask the commissioners ask questions? Okay, so Commissioner Subramanian, you want to ask some questions remotely?
I have none at this time. Thank you.
Commissioner DeSantoro,
No questions.
Commissioner Jemsky,
No, I think I'm good. We've seen this a couple times.
Commissioner Cloud,
No, sir.
Commissioner Grady Benson.
So yeah, sorry. So the drawing that I'm looking at, so because of what the insurance company said, the plans that we saw initially have been scrapped or completely? Okay. So all that you're going to be doing is renovating the existing house, and then the request is to add on this area here for the garage
Yep.
and the porch.
Yep.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Commissioner Callahan.
The additional 8 feet that's featured to the right
Mhm.
of the drawing.
Yep.
That's the additional 8 feet is going parallel to Red Oak Hill to the northwest, right? Not further into the front yard.
No, it's going
Go-
further into the front yard.
Yeah. To
But
the front corner.
it's
of the
going
porch.
parallel to Red Oak Hill.
So
Yeah,
here's Red Oak Hill Road. And then here's the 8-foot addition. So this,
Where's the 8-foot addition? Is that little
It's-
red line?
yeah, no, it's this area in red is the new living space. Here, let me,
Okay, so 8 feet of that living space.
And some of that is garage as well, right?
the first floor is garage, the second floor is living space.
Yep.
Okay, got it. Thank you. That's all I had.
This area is that 8 feet of front, and then this is the enclosing the existing porch.
That it?
I see it, yes.
I just have a couple of questions of clarification. Did you consider at all expanding the house in the direction where your deck and what you refer to as a wood patio is, rather than encroaching more towards the front setback?
oh, on the right side, you're saying?
Well, I'm looking at the image. If it would be at the rear of
The-
the
yeah, it-
existing home, in other words, the backside of Red Oak Hill Road.
I mean, the only reason is it just doesn't do anything for the living space of the bedrooms for the kids or anything. Because that's a living room and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know, what the insurance company decided, so I assume you're not moving any interior walls. You're just gonna keep the structure and add on to it based on what the insurance company said they'd pay for?
Yeah, so basically the left side.
And there was something about, I wanted to ask you about the water that, you have a well,
Mhm.
correct? And you indicated in the application or in some of the materials that the, public water is on, New Britain Avenue.
Okay, yep, yeah, New Britain Ave.
And was there any discussion at all or attempt to try and hook up to public water?
No, it's just not feasible.
And when I went out there, I realized, your property there borders the rail trail,
Right, yep.
the Unionville Rail Trail. And who is the actual, do you know who the owner is of the rail trail? Like who?
It's the Connecticut Department of Transportation owns the property, and then any questions get referred to the Railway Rights of Way Division.
And there was no need for them to be contacted at all as a budding property owner?
They were.
They were?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think,
Yep.
and
Yes.
the last time we were here also, there was some discussion that you were going to remove the firewood rack. That's a separate structure that's very close to the neighboring property to the, is that the north or at least the
Oh, the woodshed.
woodshed?
Yep.
Are you still planning on doing that?
Yeah, that's, yep. Just with weather conditions, we haven't really started yet,
Of
so.
course. All right, I don't have any other questions. Is anyone else? Oh, Commissioner?
I do remember there was an oil tank out there as well next to the,
That's, yeah.
that's gone as well?
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, we sent pictures that it was gone.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Was there anyone else who'd like to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone online at all that, other than Commissioner Subramanian on this hearing?
Mr. Chairman, for simple, is it okay if I just say in favor or against? Okay.
Yeah, well, I was going
Yeah.
to say in favor or against.
Okay. If there's anyone online that has called in favor or against this application, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Again, if there's anyone that has called in from the public and would like to speak for or against this application, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Mr. Chairman, there are no hands raised.
And before I close the hearing, I just want to inquire of you, Mr. Daigle, does this increase, this application, increase the amount of non-conformance per total square area of non-conforming property?
It would, because there's no other option to add onto the home aside from at the front.
All right, with that, I'm going to close the hearing and at this time I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the application of Matthew and Christie Yard for variance to reduce the front yard setback from 40 to 20 feet to construct an addition on an existing single-family home and to 10 feet to enclose an existing porch and add a porch at 100 Red Oak Hill Road, R30 zone.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cloud seconded. Discussion? We are required to put on the record reasons for the one way or the other. So it's your motion, Mr. Callahan. Do you wish to?
I'm satisfied that there is a hardship by the shape of the lot, the circumstances, the fact that this was a pre-existing non-conforming use that predates zoning regulations, that combined with the restrictions placed on the ability to develop the house by the shape of the lot, the nature of the lot, and the presence of the septic system is, I think, adequate.
Anyone else wish to speak?
I concur.
What I'll say is if this had been a special exception based on my previous comments that the Connecticut courts have said that if you're seeking a special exception to increase the size of non-conforming lot, it goes against state law and policy. And if that's why we were here, I would have to be a no vote. But in light of what has been said in terms of this being a variance and the hardships that have been expressed, I'm going to also agree that it meets our criteria and therefore I'm going to vote in favor. Having said that, anyone else wish to comment? Oh, hearing none, I'm going to ask Mr. Daigle to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Callahan,
Aye.
Commissioner Cloud,
Aye.
Commissioner De Santoro,
Aye.
Commissioner Grady Benson,
Aye.
Commissioner Gemski,
Yes.
and Chairman Schoenhorn.
Yes.
The votes are 6 in favor. The variance is approved.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir, and I hope this time it will meet your insurance company's requirements.
Good luck.
All right.
Have a good night.
Yeah,
Take
take
care.
care.
Have a good night, guys.
So the only other item on tonight's agenda is the minutes, so I'll entertain a motion with regard to the January 21 ZBA minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the minutes have been approved. Do we have any notice whether we have any applications pending for next month?
I don't know because the deadline is very late because the meeting's very late. So our March meeting, if we have one, will be Wednesday, March 26th. It's the last Wednesday in March. So therefore, the deadline for the meeting is Wednesday, March 5th. So we still got a little ways to go. Staff has been talking with a property owner. We're not sure if they would be ready to make an application for March at this point. We've been going back and forth. It's again, it's another existing house that needs to be expanded upon. It's septic. It seems to be a common occurrence lately. So until the 5th, I won't know for certain if we're having a meeting or not.
And also before we adjourn, I want to recognize, I understand this may be Sandra Michaud's last meeting with our board before she goes on to bigger and better things. So I want to recognize, I've been on this, I don't even remember how long I've been on this board. I think Commissioner Callahan's been here longer than myself, but it's probably been like 10 or 12 years at this
I
point.
think I'm at 16.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and I know that, Sandra has not only regularly and dutifully done the minutes and attended every one of these meetings, but has gotten the draft minutes out within a day or two of the meeting. So I just want to recognize her and have the minutes reflect, that we wish her well and that we thank her for her many years of dedication, not only to this board, but I think she has to go to all the meetings of every land use board. And I can't imagine that there's only going to be one person willing to do that in the future. So
There is.
there is a person.
There is. There
All
is.
right. So next month we'll meet our
Yes.
new staff person. All right. And again, thank you.
Yes.
And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.
All right.